Howdy folks, welcome back to another Mile Arc. We are back in the flight sim today, and we are going to continue our westerly trek along. Well, in this case, we're currently in Azerbaijan still. Azerbaijan, I got pronounced how to say that, but we're in the part of the world. I looked up what they call this region, and it's the Caspian Sea region that borders the Europe and Asia continents, or continents of Europe and Asia. That's where we are. We're heading west. We're going to head out west towards Georgia. We're going to use this plane for all of these flights through this area. We've already done two at least. I think it's been at least two flights. And we're going to keep going, mixing other flights in between, of course. But that's kind of what I'm doing. I haven't been in this region before, and I love this little plane. It is freeware, at least it was when I got it. You can get the full name of the plane in the description below. It's the Ryan Navion. I want to talk about my upload schedule with the flight sim a little bit now that I'm also doing racing sims. I've never had a sim, or not sim schedule. I've never had an upload schedule on this channel, and I never will. However, I do want to tell people what I'm thinking, and I'm thinking I'll probably never do more than a flight video every other day or every third day. And the reason for that is not because of the racing sim. It's because I'm watching the viewership of videos. And if they're too close together, not everybody gets a chance to watch them because I know they're long. They're almost an hour long sometimes. And if I put out an hour video almost every day, it's just too much for people to watch. So if I slow the pace down a little bit, every other day is still kind of pushing it. Every third day is probably the sweet spot. That's what I'm planning on doing. So no more frequent than no more frequency. The frequency will be no more than every other day or every third day going forward. And that's not a schedule. That's just so people have a chance to watch. I have a small subscriber base compared to other people. However, I have a very dedicated subscriber base. I have a very consistent group of people who watch every video, and I want to make sure you have a chance to see every video. Otherwise, why would you be here? So the flight sim stuff is going to slow down a little bit just so people have a chance to watch everything. In between will be tons of racing sims and maybe some other little games here and there. I was doing other little games here and there on my Minecraft channel, but I get 2 views because only people over there are the Minecraft community for Paul Source Jr. That's the only people I have, which is fine. But that's just going to be the Paul Source Jr. server channel. So I might be throwing some other weird stuff here. If you don't watch it, I'm not offended, of course. If I put up a dumb little freebie game and 3 people watch it, I don't care. That's what I expect. But I want my core group of flight sim people to be able to watch every video. So I'm going to slow down the flight sim videos for people. And then if you have time, or you want to watch all the other stuff in between, all the racing stuff and other stuff, awesome. Very exciting. So with that out of the way, we got the back of the house talked about. We got where we are in the world talked about. So now I have to figure out why my child just walked in the door. He's supposed to be at her friend's. So I'm going to pause the video and edit out the next couple hours, and I'll be right back, and we'll continue this flight across Europe and Asia. All right, and we're back like 20 minutes later. I got my kid squared away. He is actually with my wife. They had a quick change of plans. I'm supposed to have my first alone day in 6 years, I think it's been, instead of an alone night. So I'm fired up and ready to go. So let's get this thing started. Hop inside. Now we are gonna have a weird flight, I think, because if you look at the map, the airport we're landing at, well, it's off screen anyway, but it exists in SkyVector, and my software, my nav data is completely up to date. However, when I tried to preview the weather there, it doesn't exist in the sim, so I'm really hoping there's another airport around here. It actually looks like there's UB14, but once we get closer to where we're supposed to go, if the airport really doesn't exist, then we're going to either land there because there's a VOR there. We'll land at the VOR, Station Airport, or we'll go to an alternate nearby airport. The reason why I'm hopeful that it exists is maybe it's just under a different call sign or call letters. Airport code, I guess, is the more accurate thing to say. And then I'm just hoping it's still there, but we'll see. So we're going to wing it today. No pun intended. Real world weather is turned off, and that is because there are severe weathers right now. The wind is 34 knots steady with gusts to 74 knots on the ground. So we obviously are not going to use real-world weather in any aircraft, especially not this one. So we've got some clouds. I put them at like 6,500 feet or something, so that they'll be kind of mixed in the mountains, and we're not going to go quite that high, I don't think. Alrighty, fuel quantity. Let's not run out of fuel today. And if we do have to get to an alternate airport, we need the fuel to do it. So let's fill this thing way up. Let's put 2.5 hours in here. I have the time to fly this long. I'm hoping it doesn't take this long, but if I have to, I have the time. Hopefully we're ready by 3 o'clock local time. We'll see. All right, parking brake. Is it set? It is. Generator on. Battery on. Check that there are 3 green landing lights. And there are, I guess. Barometer 29902 because we don't have any weather. So there's 209 and there's 2 actually probably right there. Reset the flight controls. I actually already did all that before I started recording this time. I had to replug in my pedals 3 times to get them to work, so I don't know what's going on with that. It's just, I accept it. All right, carb heat off, pushed in. There we go. Cowl flaps open, pushed in. Strobe and position lights back over here, right? Yes, you think I would know this by now. Close the canopy. I think I have a canopy preset. I do. Mixture rich, pushed in, props in, throttle a quarter. Check the fuel gauge, which I know is over here. Now they ran out of fuel before. Make sure that the fuel shut off is pushed in. I think it's that one, but it's really this lever here. Fuel pump on, which is right there. There we go. Push electric starter. And I do not wear headphones, so hopefully you don't get audio bleed from my speakers into my microphone. I don't wear headphones because I get migraines from them. I have really nice studio headphones, but they're a little too good, and it hurts my ears not to have the spatial hearing around me. And it gives me migraines, so hopefully they'll bleed. I try to be very careful, but I also want to enjoy the sim sounds. So I try to do this mix of speakers not quite bleeding into my microphone. That's just some little behind the scenes secret stuff there. All right, fuel pump off after engine runs smoothly at 800. Is it going to run smoothly at 800? It is, so fuel pump can come off. Gradually increase throttle for engine warm up. We kind of actually already did that when I was blabbing away, but we're not quite at 150 or something on the oil temperature, so we'll let that run a little bit. Put that in. Y on keyboard is sync gyros. If we look at our compass thing, there it is. I just synced it with that. I have it mapped as Y on my keyboard. It's not normally mapped to anything. I have a video on that if you search the channel. Make sure flaps are up, and they are. Hydraulic power on, and it is because there's a light, otherwise the button is here. See, off, on. Lean the mixture and start the taxi. Let's bring this down. Let's lean the mixture. There we go. Alright. I think we're going to do a run-up today. It's been a long time since we've done a run-up. Plus I had to repair this thing after our rough landing in that neighborhood on that island. Where are we going to go? We're just going to go right out to here. There's no weather, so it really doesn't matter. So what is that runway going to be? We're facing there. It's going to be that one. If we click on the airport, it's probably 35, because that'll be 34. That's going to be 35. I'm sure that says 35 once we get up there. We're just going to take off and then immediately go to the west. We are going to use our radios a little bit. Even though it's a VFR flight, we're going to use radios because we can. So in fact, let's tune that first radio in since we have a very tiny taxi. There's my preset. Alright, so what are we going to do? We are going to leave VOR 115. 115.0, okay. At 270. Let me get the right one this time. The bottom, I know this now. So there's 270. So we're going to... Really? 270. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 270 is going to be west. Yeah, of course it is. What am I thinking? Weird. I think I'm so used to researching steering wheels and how many degrees the steering wheels turn. I'm thinking that. 270, yes. 115, whoa. 115.30. Hang on. 115.0. 115.0. Boom. At 270. Then we're going to fly until we pick up the mountain line, because again, it's really a VFR flight. We're going to follow the mountains VFR style a little bit. And then eventually, if we feel like it, we're going to pick up 112. Big arrow, there we go. 112.5. And then we're going to hit that at 320. Then, if there is an airport there, we're going to land on it. If not, we'll go to a nearby airport. No matter what, we'll land visually. If there's no airport nearby, we're going to go until we get station passage over the VOR. Then we're going to land in the VOR and call it the airport, because there's supposed to be an airport there and the VOR is there. So that's what we're going to do. That's the plan. So let me just double check my flight plan. Leave 115.0 at 270. Follow the mountain line, VFR style. And then at some point we will tune in 112.5 at 320. Just so we can just have some instruments, right? And my wife is doing dishes upstairs. I get the day off from dishes, in case you wonder what all that noise is. I get the day off from dishes today. All right, here we go. We are going to go left to this runway, which I'm assuming is 35, like I said. And we're just going to stick together for this taxi since it's so short. And let's quickly appreciate the airport somebody put all this work into, although we don't get to see a whole lot from here. But there's an airport there. Whoa. It's really hard to fly or drive when you're not looking at your airplane. All right. So because of this runway, if there were wind, it would be from our right. So we're going to face the right a little bit when we do our run up. So let's just come right here and stop and face into the wind. Like so, and set the parking brake. And here we go, run up. It's been a long time. So, fuel rich. Boom, cowl flaps in. We already know they are, but let's double check. Throttle to 1700. Is this the one where it's going to start to roll away? Even with the parking brake on? It's fine right now. Okay. The fuel pump on. Come on. Fuel pump on. Check each meg for drop off. So we got left. Back to both to come back up. Right. Back to both and it should come up. And it is. Pull carb heat out. And then back in. Props back. And then in. Full throttle for 10 seconds, but we can't because it'll start to move on us. Watch. So we don't do that part. And the throttle's back to 1,000. Make sure hydraulic power is on, and it is. Flaps down and then up. My ding mouse. I would just tell my recording software not to show the mouse, but then I need it sometimes, so to point things out. All right. There we go. Set the trim, and it's always set, I think. Yeah, it's fine. What's that thing? Yeah, that's the flap thing manually. Yeah, I just do it. If it doesn't go halfway, if I go halfway, is it really halfway? It is, exactly. Oh, I can just look there. I can just look here. Can I see it like this? I can. Oh, I'll just use that for my flaps instead of looking out the window. Very nice. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. Get ready for takeoff. Landing lights on. Where are you? Fuel pump on, it still is. Dome light off, and it is because that's on, that's off. Note the time on the clock. We will, when we get out there, clock says almost 3, just like it should be. Very good. We have to wait for this guy, aren't we? Or maybe he'll wait for us. We were cleared before him. He has to wait for us. Or is he gonna go? No, I think he's going. Nope, he did not follow ATC's instructions, so we're just going to wait for him to go. Yep, we'll just wait for him to go. Okay, we'll get to see someone take off. That'll be fun. Let's just watch him. Or no, he's taxiing right on through. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Okay, let's see. I told last track what I was going to say because of him. Oh, well, doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, we're going to take off by 3, just like I planned, which is great. So, let's line this thing up. And no flaps unless you really, really need them, and we don't really, really need them, so we're not doing flaps. What do we need to do? Landing lights on, we already did that. We have throttle, can be full for a minute. Pull back at 60, take off at 70. And then climb. Checklist we'll do when we get to the climb part of it. Alright, here we go. Parking brake off. Let's get rolling. And let's get going. And ignore the dishes. Although I admit that's a happy sound because that means for the first time I don't have to do them in years. There's 75. We should have taken off already. There we go. Ooh, there we go. Alright, nice and smooth, kind of. Alright, raise flaps. Don't need to, we already have them. Up, we didn't use them. Gear can come up now. Once they're up, hydraulic power can come off because we're done with that. Fuel pump off at 1000 AGL. We've got a ways to go for that. And climb at least 80 knots. We're climbing about 95, which is fine. Within a minute, props back to 22 and manifold back to 27. So, without changing view, here's the props. It's at 23, and there's the manifold that's at 30. Let's bring that back to 27, which I can see if I stare. There's 27 and props back to 22. There we go. There's 22 on the props. There's 27 on the manifold if you want a closer look. There it is. We're spot on. And I think now we are ready to head towards the VOR. Follow this needle. Don't have much else to say. Best climb is 95. We're at 100 now. We were at 95. Let's just trim back a little bit so we climb at 95. Let's go pretty high. Let's go about 5,500 today or so. Alright, we're at 210 degrees. Let's go to 200 degrees until we get to that needle, and then we'll go back towards 27. Whoa. The heck? Why was it lifting up on me like that? Okay, props, bring those back a little bit. Manifold is at 26. That's good enough. We want to climb at 95. Let me get that under control here. And while I'm trying to do that, let's go outside and have a look around. There's more water. We're flying right over the airport. There's the Caspian Sea. We're right over the airport. Otherwise, not a whole lot else. Whoops, we're veering to the right. This isn't working. That's, yeah, that wasn't good. It's very hard to fly from the outside. Anyway, I'm gonna find this VOR and then we'll tune back in here. And there's our VOR. So we're gonna turn to 270 now, try to catch it. We're pretty much on top of the VOR, so it's gonna spin quickly on us. Kind of caught me off guard, but we should be good. There's 260 and there's 270. Roll out. Go a little better than 270 because we passed it a little bit. Ooh, and we picked up speed too. I wasn't really paying attention to that. That wasn't good. I was going exactly 95 knots. Whoops, let's stop turning. Oh my gosh. There we go. All right, we're lined up with the VOR, so let's kind of get to 270 here. Come on. There we go. All right. Good. Alrighty, let's go over. Actually, let's go here. And let's get some autopilot going so we can sight see. Let's pop that out so I can see it. There we go. Alrighty. Keep that 95 knots. Alright, we want to do heading at 270 or so. So let's do heading. That should keep us on 270. There we go. We're veering off a little bit. And then I'll do altitude hold at 5,500 or so. So let's hide this for now. So we're all set on that. We're at 95 knots. We're trimmed for 95 knots. We're at 22 on the props. And we went below 27, I guess, on the manifold pressure. But we were at 27. Well, anyway, we're going to keep everything just like this. We're following the VOR card. let's use this one, precisely. So we're good. So all I'm going to do is when I'm ready at 5,500 feet, I'm going to come over here, push Alt hold, and we're set. That's all I'm going to do. Otherwise, we're just going to follow this VOR to the west a little bit, and then we'll follow the mountains, which will come into view pretty soon. And then we'll try to pick up that other VOR and land at either real airport or imaginary one. So for you sightseeing, all I'm going to do in a couple seconds is hit Alt hold, and then we are all set. So I'll catch you once we figure out where we're actually going to go. Alright, just a quick update as we get underway, because this is going to be a very long flight. It's going to be, I don't know, at least an hour. We took off just after 3 o'clock. Something I realized I did is I used the heading to track this thing. Why don't I just do track, and then it'll track the VOR? Because remember, track is for tracking the VOR, captures for glide slope, heading, then manually. So we're just going to follow the VOR using autopilot. I don't know what I was thinking there, but so that's all set. We're cruising at about 5,500 feet above sea level. We have a long ways to go, like I said. Looking at the map, what we're looking for, if I compare this, the train to SkyVector train, is right, you can't quite see it, and I can't even put the mouse over there because if I let go, but right on the edge where the map turns blue, right there will or will not be our airport. So if the airport does not exist, we'll probably just go to UB14, which isn't as far as I want it to go, but we'll do what we got to do. If the airport does exist, obviously we'll land there, because I don't think there's anything beyond that for a very, very long time. And this is going to be a long enough flight as it is. Oops, I just bumped my yoke. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to follow this map, not follow the map. We're going to let the map update. And then if there's an airport, we're going to go for it. If not, we'll go to UB14. It'll be completely VFR and visual, which means we'll have to use the map to get us here because we don't have any instruments to get there. But this would just be like either an old paper VFR map on our laps or an app and an iPad on our laps. So it's not cheating, because some people think using the in-game map is cheating, but it's not. This is either the paper map you would have already or the iPad you would have already. So whatever. I'm not sure why people think it's cheating, but we're going to make use of it if we don't have an airport. So I'm going to close that for now. I'm going to shut my trap for right now. I'm going to give you a little bit more sightseeing, let that map update, and then we'll check back in and see how this is going. Okay, everybody, there's a change of plans. First of all, let's check our fuel. Fuel is good. So our map updated, and while the VOR exists, and while my nav data is up to date, the airport is not in X-Plane 11. Now I could add it manually, but I forgot how to do that. So it's not going to be in there. I have to go into designer, I think, even just to get a basic runway down. So we don't have an airport. I'm not going to do the thing where we fly there and land and pretend there's an airport. Instead, we're going to take a diversion to UB14, not UB40, but UB14, Uniform Bravo 14. How are we going to get there without ATC, without instruments? Well, it's going to be VFR. So to keep the realism, we can pretend this is a chart that we found in the glove box. We wouldn't have our location on it, but we would know where we were from looking around. Or we would have an iPad on our lap with an app that will look exactly like this, with their airport and our live location. So that's what we're going to do. We can't use any radios to get there, so we're going to have to use the heading bug. So we need to figure out, first of all, if there's any terrain. We're at 5,500 feet, and this terrain is getting kind of high here. We can also take a look out the window and realize the train's creeping up on us, but if we turn now, we should be good. Otherwise, what was going to happen is we were just going to follow. We were going to go straight a little bit, and then eventually we would intersect with the other VOR right about where the mouse is, and then we would have followed other VOR in while we keep clear of the mountains that we're following next to. So even though this has always been intended as a VFR flight, we could have done it completely by radio, and we would have been just fine. But we need to make a decision quickly before we run into some terrain. So we are simply going to use the heading bug to turn us. So what are we at? We're at 270. Obviously, we want to be less than 270. Let's go about 210 for now. Let's move this to heading. Heading. There you go. We'll now follow our heading bug, which is basically this. And we'll just keep an eye on ourselves and aim for this airport. We don't have to worry about weather because the weather's turned off. So we'll just find the airport, circle, and land. What we are going to do is click on it and get the elevation, which is 35 feet below sea level. Okay. Okay. So we'll aim for 0. I did not expect that. I guess that would make sense. This part of the world is below sea level, a lot of it. I didn't think of that. Which runway? I don't know. 26 would be a fly straight in. We'll see how we spot it. If we get low enough and we spot it in time, we'll just fly straight in. Otherwise, we'll have to circle to land. So we're being a little aggressive. If we come down here with heading bug and go out, we might not see the airport all that well, but we'll try it. Let's be a little less aggressive though, and turn this way a little bit. Doesn't take much. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to use our iPad to get us to UB14, which is there. And that's pretty much it. When are we going to start coming down? I don't know. After these mountains in front of us, we'll come down to about 3,500 or 3,000 or so. And then once we get closer, if we can see it, we'll try to descend. Otherwise, we'll come across very high and then circle to land. That's the plan. We've had almost half an hour flight time already. We've come a long way, though. We're cruising right along. Everything is in the green there. Everything is in the green here. We're good to go. So, a little bit more sightseeing for you. And I'll catch you when we get over these mountains and we descend our first step down. Catch you in a bit. Oh, there somewhere's an airport. Should be like over here somewhere. So we're going to step down to 3,500 so we don't overfly too high, because I'm really hoping that we can get this on our first pass. So what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do, is I took off Alt Hold, and I'm bringing down the throttles so that we start descending, but instead it's just slowing us down. So that's not helping. Now we're climbing though. Okay. I took off Alt Hold, and it's still holding altitude. So I guess we have to kill autopilot and do this manually, I guess. So we're going to continue flying our heading, which is what? 255, although we're kind of going to the side here. Let's stay at least 260. There we go. And let's start coming down. Gonna keep our speed up though. We want to keep going as fast as we can. We're not ahead of schedule or anything. We're not behind where we have to make up time by slowing down, because you can make up horizontal time by slowing down, if that makes sense. Meaning, if we have to, I shouldn't say that, you can make up vertical time by slowing down horizontally. There we go. So if you have to come down faster or something, just slow down horizontally and it gives you more time to come down vertically. There we go. That makes sense. Let's stop turning though. We're going to have to pull out our chart in a minute to see exactly where we are. Yeah, we don't want to be at 270 yet. Not until we see the airport, or else we're going to fly right past it. Come on, let's come down. There we go. Now it's starting to come down. I'm just going to trim it for a faster speed. And let's try to stay about 260 or so. Let's just keep our speed up. I want to keep our speed up. Are we finally coming down? Good grief. All right. Landing checklist. Get ready for this. Whether we got it. Fuel pump on. I think I turned that on a minute ago. Yeah. Fuel pump is on. Landing lights are on. Props full. We'll do that in a minute. Hydraulic below 100 miles an hour. So it's too soon for the rest of that. But basically, landing lights on. Fuel pump on. And we're just going to start coming or keep coming down. That's all I have to say. Let me check our chart though. See where we are. Oh, see. We're going to fly parallel to it. Oh, there it is. I see it. It's in sight. I just happened to glance out, and there it is, right there. Report runway in sight. We're just going to do a fly straight in. We can do this. We got to come down, though. So, no more sightseeing, because I got to come down in a hurry. I got to get to 35 below sea level. And I need to slow down at some point. So, all right, we're almost lined up with the runway. We have a long way to come down. We got to come down 4,600 feet. Oh boy, in a short time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do what I just said. I'm going to slow down horizontally so we have more time to descend vertically. And bring your throttle way back on the throttle. Props are full. Fuel is full. Gear will come down in a minute. Flaps will come down. We're going to land the first set of flaps just because we can. Landing lights are already on. Hydraulic on below 100, which is too fast for that. So basically, runway's in sight, lights are on, fuel pump is on. That's all we can do right now. So I'm going to keep coming down here. Let's see if I can get you one last shot out the window while we come down at a steep 1,800 feet per minute. Okay, quickest sightseeing ever, because I really do have to fly a plane. So let me get comfortable in my seat after our 45-minute flight so far. And here we go. We're still coming kind of fast, but that's okay. We're down to 2,500 feet above sea level. We're just going to stay straight. We'll slow down in a minute for gear and flaps. And what else? Gear down, flaps down if you want to. Final approach at 75, which is this first hash right here. Touchdown at 55. No. Yes, touchdown at 55, which is the end of the arc. Nose down at 50. We'll see how close to that we can get. But otherwise, here we go. Super smooth, super long approach. Should not be a problem. Alright, 1,000 AGR, 1,000 above sea level. Keep it like that for right now. I had a really good approach, but then I did a little bit of sightseeing that I didn't put in the video because it didn't work. And then I got all off track. So, no sightseeing. What I did, just to show you, is I quickly did tower view, and you can see the white dot in the middle of your screen. That's us coming in, but then we get all screwed up. So no more of that. We're just going to fly the plane. So let's slow down now because we're at 500 feet above sea level. Let's level off until we get established here a little bit better. So I am throttling and pitching up to slow down and throttling so we don't keep descending. Nose up to slow down. And then now we'll throttle back so we don't ascend. Trying to get down to 100 miles per hour. We're just about there. There we go, close enough. Let's get our hydraulic out so we can do gear. Gear coming down. That'll cause us to slow down a little bit. And where's my flap thing that I found? Flaps halfway. Well, I should have done that with a different view because now we got all thrown off. No. But that should be halfway. It is. Good, right on the money. Okay. What view? I think next time I'm going to do that so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, that would have been a better option. Okay, let's get back on track. It's not too late to get back on track. So we're heading for a 75 mile per hour approach. So let's start slowing down to that right now. And then we will touch down at 55, nose down at 50. Let's see, can we use that tower view? I think it's this one on my yoke. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. That's fun. But we get all thrown off. So no more. No more. I love the trees. Very nice. Alright, let's aim for that 70 mile per hour approach. So we're going to nose up to slow down, but then we're going to bring throttles back so we keep descending. Lights, gears down, flaps are down, landing lights are on, fuel is fine. Props are forward, mixture's rich. And we're just gonna keep going here. There we go, about 80 miles per hour. Let's get that down to 75. There we go. We're descending nicely, using throttle to control the descent rate, using pitch to control our speed. And we're looking good. It's a very long runway, so if we overshoot the TDZ, touchdown zone, we'll be fine. As I said previously, very few pilots seem to land in the touchdown zone anyway. That's based on real-life operations and talking to a real-life pilot. So here we go. Let's keep our speed up, though. Not slow down until we get over here. Now we're going to aim for 55. So over the threshold, throttles back, aim for 55 knots, and there we go, nose wheel up. Keep the nose wheel up, it says. Nose wheel down now. There we go. Awesome. Very nice, very smooth. Textbook. And I'm getting better about being centered. Imagine that. Alright, flaps come in right away, it says. Right, flaps are in now. Flaps are in now. Whoops, I just did gear up on accident. Is that going to break us? No, I accidentally hit the wrong button. Yikes. Okay, flight time, about 47 minutes. Where are we going? Flaps up right away. We're just going to turn off right here, I guess, because this isn't a modeled airport. So we're going to roll this out and brake a little bit. Oof, yikes. And turn left. It's funny when I step on the brake that the whiskey compass goes nuts. You'll see here when we cross the stop line. Keep your eye on the whiskey compass in the center above the stack there. And when I step on the brakes, it goes crazy. And parking brake is set. What do we need to do? Taxi flaps should already be up, and they are. No time o'clock. We already did that. Fuel pump off. We can do that now. Come on, landing lights can come off. Mixture lean. And find parking. I think we're just going to go straight. It's an unmodeled airport. So what we do in these cases, we just kind of go off-road here and just get out of the way for the next person. Alright, it's going to be bumpy, so hang on tight. Oh boy, yep, there we go. And stop right there. And set the parking brake. Alright, let's shut this thing down properly. Let's see, let's come down here like this. Hydraulics off. Strobe and position lights can come off. Idle for 3 minutes at 700 RPMs. We'll say we did that. Mixture out to shut off engine. Ignition off. Generator off and battery off. And then we can open the canopy. And put the checklist away and hop outside. Well, hopefully you enjoyed our flight. Sorry we had a diversion, which means that the flight was actually a lot. It was about half the time. It would have been another 45 minutes or so to get to your destination, but that's okay. We're going to continue west in this region of the world in the same plane, but not next. Next, we're going to do some landing practice in the Coronado because we've been struggling with that with the airplane update and the 11.36 update. We've been having problems stalling at like 110 knots. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to do straight level flight, see where the stall is, and use that to base our landing. But that'll be in the next flight. That being said, X-Plane is getting ready to update to 11.40, which means I might have to relearn all this stuff again. But whatever, we'll take it as it comes. We're at the mercy of the sim. That's all we can do. So expect a landing practice next, probably. And then I've got another flight that is not in this part of the world. And then we'll do probably a bunch in a row with this part of the world, and then sneak in a jet or two. Those are the plans. Don't know when I'm going to get to them, but I'll get to them very soon. But otherwise, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for continuing support. If you found me by accident, please like, please subscribe, please share with your friends. Stick around for some more X-Plane, some Assetto Corsa, Forza 7, and a few other things. But I don't know what's coming next. You'll find out when I find out, and I'll catch you next time.